The doctor said it's unbreakable. And then I've got an unbreakable titanium leg.
What happens when you turn a regular leg into a cybernetic machine and supply Conor McGregor with all the TRT that he can consume? I'll tell you what you get. You get the McGregor-nator.
The judges are ready. The fighters are ready. The world is ready. You two, make some noise if you are ready for Combat Robot.
Assalamu alaikum, my brothers. Today, we are going to be predicting McGregor versus Holloway 2, UFC 329, the Mac versus the Max. My name is Omar. I'm joined by Landon.
Yo, what's up, guys?
And let's just get right into it. Ryan Gandra versus Zachary Reese. Gandra is the betting favorite, coming right out of the Dana White Contender Series, which means they're going to give him a fight that he's going to win. Nearly undefeated. He has one loss, KO artist. Last 4 fights were KOs, a submission win as well, and he has a BJJ brown belt. Reese, he's a BJJ black belt. But brother, we have to test this, brother. The UFC favors these Dana White Contender guys. They get the Dana White privilege. They start out with it. You know what's going to happen. He's going to turn him into a human Reese's cup, probably going to chin him. The question is, can he turn around and derail the train? Can Zachary Reese derail Ryan Gandra's hype train? I don't think so. He's been chinned before. We saw him get KO'd by another KO artist, Azamat Bekov. This guy, Ryan Gandra, he's a KO artist as well. He could probably do the same thing. I'm predicting Ryan Gandra by early KO or decision.
Yeah, one thing that jumps out to me with this matchup is, kind of the advantages the physical advantages that Reese has. He's got a 2.5-inch reach advantage, a nearly 6-inch leg reach advantage. He's 3 inches taller. So he's a bigger middleweight fighting Ryan Gandra. I'm going to take Ryan Gandra here, and I'm going to make this the first ever crowbar of a card.
Whoa.
This is the new thing.
We're debuting this.
We're debuting the crowbar. We always do the lock of the card. We take our fight that we're the most confident in. The crowbar of the card, like you said earlier, it's kind of the cheeky pick. It's the pick that maybe you don't know that's going to happen, but you hope it does, and you think it could, something fun, the crowbar, it unlocks something. That's what you use a crowbar for. So this is going to be an exciting pick, and I'm going to take Ryan Gandra, first ever crowbar, to get a knockout under 41 seconds. That was his first fight in the UFC. He got a knockout in 41 seconds, and I'm going to take him to get one faster in his second fight against Zachary Reese.
Farid Basharat versus Ethyn Ewing. Ethyn Ewing, he's the favorite. Basharat, he's technical, well-rounded. Ewing, he's stepping into a tough matchup right now. It's not the first time he's faced off against someone that's undefeated. I mean, let's not forget Brother Wellmaker, and I saw that in person. That was so sad. He walked out to NBA Youngboy. I was expecting a Wellmaker knockout, something crazy, but he got slimed out. We all know what happened. And ever since, Ethyn Ewing, he's been on the come up. He's just come off another win. They're facing him off against Farid Basharat. As I said, he's technical, well-rounded. He's got submissions. They're both undefeated in the UFC. Let's look at Ewing's first 2 losses. His first loss was by submission. So I'm just going to guess that he has a weakness, which is submission. And Farid, he can exploit that weakness. Brother Farid to avenge Brother Wellmaker, his Muslim brother. He's going to get it back in blood. Farid by decision.
The first thing that I looked at when I was contemplating what I wanted my crowbar to be was actually going to be Farid by decision, because I feel like people are really on this big Ethyn Ewing hype train. He was successful in the regional scene. He had that shocking win against Malcolm Wellmaker when everyone thought he was going to get KO'd, and he took him to a decision, won it. He's coming off a KO himself against Estevam in his last fight. So he's obviously a really good fighter. We've seen he's got power in his hands. He's got good wrestling, got good defensive grappling when, working in the clinch. So he's a guy that a lot of people are really high on right now, but it's hard to overlook Basharat right now. He's 15-0. Obviously hasn't lost in the UFC. He's a submission artist. He's got 6 wins by submission in his career. He's got 3 first-round finishes. And it's hard to derail someone when they've got a lot of momentum. And I think in this case, you're looking at 2 guys with a lot of momentum heading into each other. And one of them, I think, is just slightly more skilled, and that happens to be the underdog, which is Farid Basharat.
Damien Pinas. Pause.
We're just going to call him Pinas for now until we figure out how you pronounce his name.
Versus Cesar Almeida. Pinas, he's the favorite. This is his second ever UFC fight.
Quick intermission. I have Googled it, and his name is pronounced Penis.
Pinas, he's the favorite. This is his second ever UFC fight. Almeida is a dangerous striker, but Pinas is very powerful. He will knock him out Give me Pinas by KO.
So, getting knocked out by Pinas is crazy. He's got 8 wins by knockout of his 9 total wins, 7 first-round finishes. I mean, the guy's just a knockout artist. He wins early, and he wins often. He's 9-1. Cesar Almeida, he's coming off a loss to Oleg Zajac. Not even the good one, not even Mikhail, it's the other one. I feel like the obvious pick is just to take Pinas here. He's a favorite for a reason. He's a knockout artist. Almeida's not the greatest chin from what I remember. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a pretty clear pick in my opinion, even though the odds are not super far apart.
And this is going to be the only time I ever take Pinas.
From now on, if I ever see Damien Pinas on the card, I'm going to take him every single time. Dude, we will be taking Damien Pinas. So we're going to have to put Pinas away to move on to Tracy Cortes.
Speaking of Pinas, we got a Wang coming up too.
Wang. Yeah, I'm about to say. Dude, I scrolled up, I looked up, I said, oh no. We're heading from Pinas to Wang, calling it the hardest card of the summer.
Hardest. Tracy Cortes versus Wang Cong. Cortes, she's a strong wrestler, we know this, but she's coming off of a submission loss. That was her last fight, Wang. She has the striking advantage. She's only ever lost by submission. She only has 1 loss. If we look back at the last time Tracy lost to a striker, this was against Thug Rose. Rose put a lot of forward pressure. That's part of the reason why Tracy lost. I feel like she didn't do enough to secure the victory. Tracy's keys to victory: relentless forward pressure. She can't just make it past the first few rounds. She's got to put a pace. She's got to win those rounds, impose her will on Wang, get some good takedowns, threat of the takedown, push the fight early. Don't wait until the last second when you need a KO to win, because you're not going to get a KO against Wang Cong. This is the most important one. Tracy, if you're listening, I'm talking directly to you. Do not wear lashes in this fight.
Remember, they got knocked off.
They got knocked off. For some reason, she decided to wear lashes against Thug Rose Namajunas. One of them got knocked out. And it ripped her actual lashes off too. I watched a video about this. I can see that she's wearing lashes in this picture right now for, the little photo shoot pre-fight. Do not wear the lashes to the actual fight, please. It's going to be bad.
It's going to be bad.
Yeah, we're going to take Wang here. I don't care the method. I'm going to take her by decision. Tracy Cortes fight's always good with a decision. She's the favorite. I think she's going to move up into the top 10 here. And Tracy Cortes is always going to have a spot on a card. She's never going to get cut because, people would riot. I'm taking Wang here.
I agree. I think she wins by pure volume and pace. She's going to take it to decision. She's not going to finish her. It'd be cool if she did finish her. So we'd know she's the truth if she finished Tracy Cortes and Rose couldn't. But she only needs to win the first 2 rounds. She doesn't need to dominate the whole fight. She has big momentum right now from her previous fights. A pretty big step up though, but I believe in her. I think Wang can do it. Yeah, Wang Cong by decision. Luke Riley versus Kai Kamaka the third. And this
2
guy,
previous ones.
They couldn't make it to the UFC. This one made it though. Luke Riley, he's undefeated. He has KO power as well. In featherweight, Kamaka, he's durable. He has been chinned though.
You got a great nickname, the Fighting Hawaiian.
I think Riley gets it done by KO decision. I think they're feeding Kai Kamaka to him. I think this is just going to be another stepping stone for Luke Riley on his way to the top. This is one of the prospects you want to catch early. You want to be on that hype train early. If you get on this hype train right now, you could tell all your friends, I was a fan of Luke Riley before it was cool. Back when he fought Kai Kamaka the third. Y'all don't know that. Back when he knocked
out the Fighting Hawaiian.
Exactly. I'm going to pick Luke Riley. I think he gets it done decision or by KO. I'd love to see a KO by this prospect.
Yeah, Luke Riley, really exciting 145er on the come up. That's been one of the divisions that has, in that top 15 has had a lot of guys come up recently, like Gene Silva, Diego Lopez, guys like that have just really risen and kind of taken over with their style, these like wild knockout artists that they are. I don't think Luke Riley is that level of a knockout artist or like a finisher like that, but he's still really entertaining. He's really fun to watch. He's got a lot of potential. He's 2-0 in the UFC. He's been active. This is his 3rd fight since November, which is a good thing. He's on pace to maybe have 4 fights in a calendar year, which is a great way to start off. And I think he is going to get the knockout here, probably in the 2nd or 3rd round. He's going to have to beat down on Kamaka for a while, and because like you said, he's pretty durable. I don't see him getting knocked out in the 1st round. I think you need to accrue some damage on him for a while and maybe back him up, maybe get him a little weak to the body so that he's susceptible to those shots more. But eventually I do think Luke Riley will get it done in the later rounds of this one and continue his hot streak towards the top.
Cody Garbrant, no love, versus Adrian Yanez. Is this going to be the downfall of Cody Garbrant? I like Cody Garbrant. He's coming off of a decision win, but he's not as durable as he used to be. And was he very durable to begin with? Yanez, he's a clean boxer. He has KO power.
He hasn't won a fight since early 2024, which is a little surprising. I didn't realize that.
Still have Yanez by decision. Either of these guys can win. Yanez is the minus 400 favorite. I'm always rooting for Cody Garbrant to pull it off, get that upset, you know. Cody Garbrant, 2026 title run, baby. We're going to see it. It's going to be legendary.
Dude, book him. Cody Garbrant, end of year champ. Like, what are the odds on that? Plus 100,000? Anybody who watches, like, the NBA or has ever paid attention to, like, Jeff Teague's podcast and you've seen the PJ Tucker 5 threes clip, the $1,000 will win you $3 million. It's the same vibes I get from Cody Garbrant, end of year champ. You should take it though. It's gonna happen.
You got nothing to lose.
People forget Crowbar has the scoops. Like, we know he's gonna do it.
He told us.
With all that being said, Adrian Yanez, I think, is gonna win this one, probably by decision. He has 11 wins by knockout and his 17 pro wins, but he hasn't got a win in like over 2 years. He's on a really nice knockout streak in the UFC, like in the fights that he does win. But Cody Garbrandt is usually fairly durable. Like, we've seen him get dropped before and be okay. So I think he can survive, especially against Yanez, who's not going to have a ton of confidence going into this one, you know, having not won in so long. And you know, Cody Garbrandt's always got confidence. He's got great footwork. You know, he's always great at moving and keeping himself alive. So I'm going to take Yanez by decision, but you know, like every Cody Garbrandt fight, it'll be entertaining.
Gable Steveson versus Ellison. The debut of Gable Steveson.
Gable, the allegation Steveson.
He's an Olympic gold medalist making his debut. He's got the elite wrestling advantage. We've seen this song and dance before. We've seen this time and time again. If we look at two double champs of the very limited few in UFC history that have simultaneously gotten championships in two different divisions, I'm talking about Henry Cejudo and Daniel Cormier. These guys were both Olympic champs.
You know, people forget Conor McGregor, he did hold two belts at once, and he was an Olympic champ in weightlifting.
A different kind of weightlifting, but when we look at Daniel Cormier, the guy that was a double champ, the guy that was an Olympic champ in heavyweight, if you're a wrestler, this division is going to be your easiest division. There's no wrestling competition in heavyweight. These guys are purely striking in heavyweight, swinging their arms wildly like Ngannou did, but he did improve. On the lower levels, they have no wrestling at all. They have no wrestling, and this guy can totally dominate. Ellison, I don't think he's going to be able to handle Gable Stevenson's wrestling. Gable's also trains with John Jones. You know, this guy was a heavyweight champ. It's kind of like the Josh Hokett method. If he's able to be good on the mic, if he's able to win in amazing fashion, I think they're definitely going to give him, you know, some good fights early on. He's going to rise up quickly. We're going to be in the Stevenson era. This is my lock of the card. Do not bet on this, though, because you're going to have to bet $2,500 just to make $100. It's minus $2,500 for Gable Stevenson's winning. Do not bet on this at all, please. If you're going to bet, though, take Elisha Ellison.
Yeah, Gable Steveson. That's my lock of the card as well. I mean, minus 2,500 is crazy. I don't know that I've ever seen one that high. I'm going to take him by round one TKO, like ground and pound. His first three pro fights have all ended in a round one KO. And I think the method's pretty simple. He's either going to drop Ellison and get on top of him and punch him down, or he's going to take him down, you know, get him out, take his back or something, and just hammer down shots on him. I don't see much of a path for Elisha Ellison to win this one. He's just being fed to the wolves here. And Gable Steveson, I haven't actually watched his full MMA career other than some highlights of the actual knockouts he's gotten. But I mean, he looks impressive, and he's in a division that is very devoid of, you know, major prospects. So it's good to see somebody come in that has a real chance of rising and, you know, taking up spots in the division, just like Josh Hokett did, which is, you know, why I'm a fan of him, because that division needs people to kind of take out the old guard that's been around for so long. So yeah, really excited to see his debut. I think he's going to win round one TKO and probably be able to get back in there pretty soon, because I doubt he's going to take that much damage, if he takes any at all.
Robert Whittaker versus Nikita Krylov. This will be an amazing fight. I already know it. Robert Whittaker moving up to light heavyweight, fighting Nikita Krylov. He's going to do it. I believe in him. Krylov, he's naturally the bigger fighter, but think about it. Robert Whittaker used to fight at welterweight. People forget that, man. He moved up to middleweight. He became champ. Moves up to light heavyweight. The possibilities. Imagine the possibilities. Krylov, he's bigger, but he's chinny. We've seen him getting chin before. We've seen him not respecting the power of his opponents. Like what happened with Dominic Reyes. He got chinned. And I think the same thing could happen here. I mean, we know how powerful Robert Whittaker is, and he's going to get more powerful moving up. He's going to have more meat on his bones. He's not even tapering off yet. He's just fighting good opponents. I'm going to say he gets it done in round 1 or round 2. Krylov's not going to respect him at all, and that will be his downfall.
Yeah, I agree that Krylov is really chinny. I mean, we saw him get flatlined by Dominic Reyes. He's a decently sized guy, but he's not like humongous for a light heavyweight. He's only 6'3". The problem is Robert Whittaker is way too small, I think, for this division. He already wasn't a very big middleweight, and even though he's more known as a striker, he has one knockout in the last 9 years. He has one. Ellison, who was coming in on like a week's notice or something like that, right? If I remember correctly. He hasn't gotten a finish in forever. He is obviously really skilled. He's obviously very good, but he's been on the downturn for a while now. He's on a, 2-fight losing streak right now with Chimaev and DeRitter. He lost to, DDP recently. He didn't look super impressive when he fought Costa. He almost got knocked out in that fight. He hasn't really looked the same the last couple years, in my opinion. He's going into the fight as a smaller guy, even though he was kind of known to be a knockout artist earlier in his career. Hasn't really had success the last decade or so putting people down, other than the short notice Ellison fight. So while I do think he has an opportunity here, with the speed advantage and the fact that he's fighting a guy who's very chinny and Krylov, I don't think he's going to get it done, with his recent struggles and the fact that I don't know if he's going to be able to knock out Krylov, what the size difference is going to be. I just think his best opportunity here is to take it to a decision with the skill advantage he'll possess. I'm going to have to take Krylov in a decision and, kind of just live with it if Whittaker proves me wrong here.
So you're telling me this is where we part ways?
This is where we part ways. I'm taking Krylov here.
The main card, Bobby Green versus Terrance McKinney. This is the old guard versus the new guard. The veteran versus the prospect. The Unk versus the YN. McKinney's dangerous. In round 1, he could spark your lights out. Anything could happen with McKinney. We've seen it before. Bobby Green, he has the experience. He has that advantage. He is the veteran. He's seen some tough exchanges. He's come back. I think if he survives early, he can take over. I think it's definitely possible. We saw what he did to Zell Huber. He can do the same thing to Terrance McKinney. Will this be my crowbar pick? Bobby Green, round 1 or 2 TKO?
The second ever crowbar?
This is a little cheeky. I might just wait until we get a bigger crowbar, but I'm going to stick with King Green here. I think he can get it done. He's still got power. Terrance McKinney, we've seen him being chin. He's quite chinny as well. But, I could see this going either ways, to be honest.
Bobby Green's on a 3-fight win streak. A little bit low-key. Hasn't lost since Roofy wheel kicked him. So, you look at this guy's recent losses. It's Roofy. It's Patty. He's not exactly getting put down by, these lesser guys. He's really only been losing to the top guys for a while now. It feels like, Islam, 4 years ago, right? Islam got the title shot off of beating Bobby Green. But I am going to take Terrance. Terrance is, like you say, he's got the knockout power. He's dangerous. He's exciting. He also has, 9 wins by submission, so he's not just one-dimensional. And I think he just has the advantage here. Bobby is not got the greatest chin in the world, and, he's a bit reckless. He's kind of a Michael Chandler type guy where he wants to give the fans an entertaining fight. And I think when you want to give the fans an entertaining fight against Terrance McKinney, you're probably just going to go to sleep. Even though I think this is going to be competitive for a while, and Bobby has a real shot at it, I'm going to have to go with the prospect. I'm going to have to take the favorite here, and the guy I feel more comfortable with, which is Terrance McKinney.
This is one where I could easily switch up on. I could have just as easily see Terrance McKinney, back taking Bobby Green, getting a rear naked choke in. I'm going to stick with King Green from now. We'll see what happens. Brandon Royval versus Lonnie Kavanaugh. We just saw what he did to Brandon Moreno. Who does that to Brandon Moreno? He went to a decision with him. I was not expecting that. This guy did it in short notice. Beat one of the best. Beat a former champ. Royval. He's fought the division's best. We saw what he did to Van. He gave Van a tough fight, but he's coming off of a huge KO loss to Manel Kape. They're not the worst losses, but if we look at Lonnie's only loss, only the real ones are going to know this. He lost to Charles Johnson.
Prospect Killer Johnson. It means nothing if you lose to Charles Johnson. It means absolutely nothing. He beats everyone.
It's kind of like the Michael Johnson of the division, which is interesting because they both have the same last name, Johnson. Is Johnson, the last name Johnson, the best base for just being fluky, crafty guy. All I know is that Joshua Van lost to Charles Johnson, and look where he is now. And I think Lonnie has the same exact trajectory. I think he will be champ soon. This solidifies it. The Brandon Royval come up. Where else is he going to go but up after this? He's already fought Moreno. Maybe Brandon Royval's chin's cooked. Maybe he, KOs him. Definitely going to win one way or another. KO or decision, I got Loney.
I gotta say, the most disappointing thing in recent MMA history is finding out that this guy's name is not Loner Kavanaugh, because that's such a badass name to have if it would be that. I mean, he obviously had a really impressive win short notice against Moreno recently, and maybe I rate Royval higher than others, or maybe I am, just got my wagon too hitched to the past of, what he might have been a few, years ago. But I do think that he's going to win this fight. I think that Kavanaugh might be a bit too big of a favorite for my liking. If I was betting, I'd probably take Royval if I wanted to maximize, the profit that I wanted out of it. I just think that he's maybe getting a bit underrated. He beat Tatsuro Taira, who just gave a competitive fight to Van. He himself had a competitive fight with Van, who's obviously now the champ, might be the best guy in the division. Might defend against Pantoja or Cobb next and beat them both. We don't know yet. He obviously just lost the Cop, and he got knocked out. But I think if you replayed that fight, I don't think he goes down in one round. I think he makes it way more competitive. So I just believe he's like a top of the line flyweight. And Kavanaugh, I haven't really seen fight at that level yet. Yeah, he beat Brandon Moreno, but Brandon Moreno recently has not been great. He got KO'd by Tyro. He had a really close fight with Steve Erceg, close fight with Amir Albazi, lost to Royval before that. So I don't know how much stock to put into that win against Moreno. Obviously it means a lot, but does it make me want to pick him over Brandon Royval? Not yet. Maybe I'm a little bit delusional about Royval at this point, but I think he's going to win this one. I think he's going to keep his spot in the top 5, and I think we're going to have to see Kavanaugh sort of regroup, fight someone else in the top 10, and try to build his way back up after it. I think this is kind of like Kavanaugh's version of the Paddy Gagey fight, where he's probably going to go into it, people are going to pick him, and he's going to lose, he's going to have to go back down and kind of go back to the drawing board of how to get back to the top of the division. I think this is just a fight Royval should win. I think Kavanaugh will be back, but this isn't his time yet.
If this was Royval of the past, if we're talking about the Royval that just beat Moreno, Royval pre-Cop, even Royval pre-Van, I'd be way more confident that he beat Lonnie Kavanaugh. But this is the Brandon Royval of today, the one that lost to Cop, the one that lost to Van. And these are really good fighters. And I think Lonnie's one of them. There could always be a Royval upset.
I think this is just the test. It's the test. If he beats Royval, he is one of those guys. If he can't do it, then you kind of have to reevaluate. Tyra lost to Royval, and he still earned a title shot. I think it could easily, something like that could happen. But we'll have to wait and see on fight night if he's got it in him to beat Royval.
If Royval loses to Lonnie, there will be a point where people say, was Royval really that good? That's going to happen. Loses
this fight, I'll stop treating him as a top flyweight.
He's going to be that guy that people think back, was he really that good? I'm just going to say it right now, he was that good.
If Pantoja didn't exist, he would have been flyweight champion for 2 years straight, genuinely.
This is tough, man. This is kind of a 50-50 fight if I've ever seen one. Corey Sandhagen versus Mario Batista, the sequel. We've seen this before. And the first time it happened, that was in 2019, ended in round 1 submission. Corey Sandhagen beat Mario Batista. The question is here, has Batista improved enough to surpass Sandhagen? We know that he's gotten better. His wrestling acumen has definitely improved. Sandhagen, he's coming off of a loss to Merab. He hasn't fought since then. Mario Batista coming off of a win against Vinicius Oliveira. And it's a crazy bounce back up from Vinicius to Corey Sandhagen. These guys have both fought Umar Nurmagomedov. Should I start my Umar Nurmagomedov glaze session right now?
You save it for his next fight.
As I said before, has he improved enough? I think he's improved enough to take it to decision. I think Corey's still good. We saw what he did with Merab. He took him to decision. We saw what Batista did to Jose Aldo. He won't take you down, but he'll just press you up against the cage. I think Corey Sandhagen's got the grappling to be able to get out of those types of situations. I think he could maybe even reverse it, throw him to the ground, end up on top position, maybe find a submission like he did in their first fight. We may even see a grappling exchange. I think Corey's good enough. He's going to drag it to decision.
This is, one of the harder to predict fights we've had. this year. I feel like these are two really skilled guys, not only in the striking but in the grappling, especially in the clinch work. I mean, both these guys are great. Corey Sandhagen's a big, tall bantamweight, while Mario Batista's, just super technical. So I think this is going to be a really fun fight. I think it's going to be one that, is going to go very close. I think it's going to go down to the wire. I don't think I see a finish here, but I'm going to take Corey 29-28. It wouldn't shock me at all if Mario were to win this one. For the longest time, I actually thought I was going to pick him. I've decided against it. I'm going to go with Corey. I think he just has a bit more experience with the top guys. You fight Marab and you learn a lot. You fight Umar, you learn a lot. Mario did too, but you learn a lot from those guys, and it just makes you a better fighter. And I think his combination of striking and grappling at the length that he has and the volume that he has with the awkwardness, I think it just makes him a slight favorite here. And I think I'm going to take him 29-28 decision in a really close one.
BSD Benoit Saint-Denis versus Paddy Pimblett. This is France versus England. France is going to win this time. This guy's coming off of a 4-fight winning streak.
How good is Dustin Poirier is the real question.
Dustin Poirier, I mean, we've seen what he does to police officers at the airport.
And then guess what Benoit was? He was in the military.
This guy has elite grappling, relentless pressure. Me personally, I've slept on him a lot against Dariush, which in hindsight seems like the worst pick in the world. Paddy Pimblett coming off of his first loss against Gaethje, and this is the best loss in the world. Like, this loss has aged extremely well, especially after what we saw Gaethje do to Topuria at UFC Freedom 250. I feel like he could definitely win this fight. This is a very 50-50 fight, another one. I could see it going either ways. There's one guarantee, though. This is definitely going to be a dogfight. There will be blood on both sides. I could picture it now. It will be like a battlefield. Benoit Saint-Denis will be thinking back to when he was in the military. That's almost guaranteed. If BSD grapples from the top, he's going to rain down with strikes. That could end the night early for Paddy Pimblett. BSD, he's never been submitted, ever. So Paddy, he's definitely not going to be able to submit him. I don't think his grappling is that good to be able to submit him. Paddy Pimblett, he has KO power. But when was the last time we've seen him use it? BSD, he rarely gets KO'd. I mean, we've seen him get KO'd against Poirier, but come on, he had staph infection. He was taking antibiotics, whatever, which made him very chinny, and he got chinned. And Moicano, we've seen it against Moicano, but that was a doctor stoppage, and, it was implemented with grappling. I don't think Paddy can really string the grappling and the striking with someone like Benoit Saint-Denis. I think BSD's road to victory, overwhelming with takedowns and ground and pound. BSD by decision, though. I think BSD's got this. He's either going to TKO him in the grappling or he's going to get the decision. But I think decision's more likely here.
Yeah, there's a good chance this could be an absolute brawl. I mean, if you just look at, some of the fights these guys have been in, like the Paddy Gaethje fight, a lot of Benoit's earlier fights, I mean, they're just scraps. These guys are both violent, specifically Benoit. I mean, he just gets after it. He'll try and tear you apart. And Paddy, Scousers don't get knocked out, and he is going to keep fighting to the end. So you're right, this could end up being the fight of the night. I am going to take Benoit. I think he puts so much pressure, and we've seen Paddy, I don't want to say fold, but he did not handle pressure well against Justin Gaethje. Gaethje pretty easily backed him up against the fence. Paddy's footwork on the feet wasn't great. The defense wasn't great. And, we've seen Benoit punish people. He can put your lights out. He can knock you down. He's got brutal ground and pound. Not that I have a hard time seeing Paddy win, but I can very easily visualize how this just goes the exact same way that his fight with Justin Gaethje did, where Benoit just pressures him, backs him up, knocks him down, grounds and pounds him. And even if Paddy doesn't get finished, I think he's going to get beat up. And I think that Benoit's going to win here either by a 49-46 decision, or he's going to find a way to get a stoppage. And sometime in the third or fourth round, maybe something like that, once Paddy's a little bit weaker. That would be my prediction. I think Benoit's going to win. And I think this is going to set him up in perfect position to get a title eliminator and potentially go for the belt.
Speaking of forward pressure, we saw what Jared Gordon did to him. A very close fight. Put the forward pressure on him. Almost got a win.
I think a good way to put it is that the two people that have been able to beat BSD fought like they weren't scared of him. Even Rufy, like everyone else, the moment that he came after them, they kind of almost fought shy, or like they were fighting not to lose instead of fighting to win. And I think that's where you saw the difference with Moicano and Dustin, is that they were fighting to beat BSD, not lose to BSD. After watching Patty fight Gagey, I feel like he's just gonna fight the same way and get beaten, but we'll have to see.
Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway. Listen up, guys. This fight is not going to happen until Bruce Buffer says it's time.
They have to touch gloves, because Conor might roll his ankle during the intro, like on some Brian Ortega shit. You never know.
Yeah, that's always a possibility. It just seems too good to be true. This is a welterweight bout. Conor's fought in welterweight. Max Holloway has not. Max Holloway, he has something hovering over him. And we've spoken about this numerous times. It's the cover curse. It's real, guys. We've seen it time and time again, and this time I'm going to trust it. You know, we thought maybe Alex Pereira, he could get past the cover curse. He had the shamanistic magic. He had the abilities to do it. No one has the abilities. No one has beaten the cover curse. Max Holloway's not going to be the first. He's never fought in welterweight. That's already like a big change in how he fights. You know, looking at Conor McGregor, his last fight against Poirier where he broke his leg, his left leg, and now he's a cyborg, guys. He has a titanium shin bone. Titanium shin bone.
Titanium shin bone.
My foot was a balloon.
My foot was a balloon. My foot was a balloon. You want to see it?
Guys, his broken leg was his left. If we think about Conor's stance, he uses his left leg for kicks and to generate torque. Guys, his left leg, the leg that was broken.
The doctor said it's unbreakable. And then I've got an unbreakable titanium leg.
What happens when you turn a regular leg into a cybernetic machine and supply Conor McGregor with all the TRT that he can consume? I'll tell you what you get. You get the McGregor-nator.
And I'm like Arnie in Terminator 2.
And you get Max Holloway KO'd on the canvas, McGregor in 3. This will be my crowbar.
Yeah, this is such a strange one because, I mean, starting with Marab versus Jan, it seems like all the heavy favorites, like all the guys that you just kind of brush away and say like, oh, well, they're just going to win, haven't. I mean, it's been Marab losing to Jan, Strickland beating Chimaev. We just had Gagey beating Topuria. And in my head, when this got announced, my first thought was like, okay, well, Max is just going to school him. Conor hasn't fought in 5 years. He hasn't won in 6.5 since he beat Cowboy. He hasn't looked the same since he retired to fight Floyd Mayweather. He's been a drunk. He's been, you know, a drug addict. He hasn't had the same power. He hasn't had nearly the same defense or the same speed. And Max Holloway is such a technical striker that it made me want to pick him easily. But with these recent upsets, it's got me thinking, like, does Conor have it in him? Is the Mac really back? You know, is he going to do the impossible? Is he going to beat Max Holloway? And I think there's a real chance for that. I mean, they're fighting at 170. Max has never fought there. He definitely doesn't have the frame of a 170 fighter. I mean, neither does Conor, but he's a lot more filled out. Max is very skinny. I don't know how well he's going to absorb shots at 170. Didn't absorb them well. Even at 155 against Charles, he couldn't defend takedowns at 155. I have a lot of question marks on whether or not he's going to be able to survive Conor at his full size. Conor that, you know, we think is not on any substances, you know, you hope. I think the key to this is how well does Max survive the power, because I think he's going to be faster. I think he's going to be way better conditioned. I think he's going to be more technical. I think he's going to outland Conor. And I think in every kind of aspect of MMA, he's going to be better. But the one hang up is he going to be able to survive the shots? If Conor can land that classic left hook, does Max survive it? And I think that's the main sticking point. I'm going to have to take Max. He's the more proven commodity right now. We've seen him be successful recently. He's been the BMF champion. He's been a title challenger at 145. He's been a top level guy at 155. He knocked out the champion at 155 2 years ago, dominated him across 25 minutes. So even though Conor's going to have a size advantage, I just have to take Max. I have to take what I'm more confident in and what I'm more sure of, because I've seen him have success since the start of the decade. Conor hasn't done anything since January 2020, so it's just going to be hard for me to pick him right now. Could he, you know, go on this miraculous run where he looks like the old Conor at a different weight class? Yeah, but until he shows it to me, until, like you said, Bruce Buffer is announcing his name on the mic after the fight and he's in the cage standing over Max Holloway, I'm just not going to believe it. So for now, I'm taking Max.
This is going to be a 5-round fight in welterweight. Conor McGregor, probably the biggest he's ever been. Max Holloway, if he wants to win, he's going to have to keep up the pace, even out his exchanges, make sure he has enough energy for the next round, and just make it a 5-round fight. If I were in Conor's corner, I'd say go for the KO, high output, try to take him down even. Max Holloway doesn't have the best takedown defense. Use that titanium shin bone and get like a, triangle or something. Get an arm bar. Put your titanium shin bone on his neck as you extend the arm and get an arm bar. I'm not going to put the house on Conor McGregor, but I'll put the crowbar on him for sure.
Fire quote. It doesn't feel real. Conor McGregor has announced the comeback. Last time this happened, he was a week away from fighting Michael Chandler. Which, like, in hindsight, what a fucking fight that would have been. I'm not going to believe it until the octagon is closed and Bruce Buffer's announcing his name and they actually touch gloves. And then I guess it will feel real. Because right now, I'm not believing it until I see it. I'm really hopeful that we get to see the return of him, at least for one more fight, if not more. And I think this is a good launching pad, whether he wins or not, to continue his career.
Let us know what you guys think. Who do you guys think will win? What are your locks? What are your crowbars? This is going to be excellent card. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait for it.
I'm just really excited. I think this is going to be, one of the best cards of the year, and really looking forward to it.
See y'all later.
Yeah.